girl, I don't even know. Like,
I'm doing the best I can with what I have.
Okay.
You know.
Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, welcome to
Not Your Typical Girl Talk.
Help to press send.
Yeah, it helps for me to press send the request to join. So here we are.
Oh,
Wow.
Well, Telly, you were killing it. The moves are everything. If you are listening to us on Radio Reject, you really have to join our live show or watch the replay because Telly be in it like she is on it. She is committed. No, you were committed to the movement, and we appreciate you. So happy Saturday, yay! Saturday, yay!
Saturday, yay! Happy Saturday, y'all.
Happy Saturday. We got a lot of tea, a lot of stuff happening on the internet. Listen, and this thing just keeps getting updated more and more and more every day with the foolishness. So I am gonna go right into our introductions, and we can go into a lot of these foolishness in a like make it make sense type of way. So we're gonna introduce ourselves in alphabetical order as usual.
Hey everybody, my name is Karcia and I am one of the members of this group, Not Your Typical Girl Talk. So excited to be here with all y'all. This show is all about the hot topics and all the stupidness happening on the internet. And we're here to bring a Black perspective to the foolishness because that's the only perspective you need to know. Tell me what is up.
Right? All of that. The Black perspective is the only perspective because we're real. We tell the truth. Y'all, hello. My name is Telly. I am a proud member of the Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew. I am so happy to be here with you guys today. And like Shiva was saying, guys, the topics that we're going to talk about today, y'all ain't ready for this. Y'all ain't ready for this. And it's coming from, we all have our own personal, things we have to say. Some of it we're not going to agree with, but we're here we're open-minded. And we're here to learn and share with you guys that there's some ish happening on this planet that ain't right. It ain't right. Shiva, tell me who you is.
That part. I am Toshiba, and I'm technically the final female member of the Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew. Please make sure you're following us on all of our social medias on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube under Not Your Typical Girl Talk. And to my, what direction is this? Left? To my left is my partner in crime, our male correspondent, who will introduce himself. Listen, I still snap right, left, right?
No,
that's
left. Dyslexia is a real thing. Don't worry about it.
It's true.
The real thing. Just saying.
What's up? Y'all on Instagram, Robbie Rob, Mr. Stevenson.
Robbie Rob?
Yeah, I come up with the names every week. But, hello, I do want to say one thing. I'm a Taurus, so my open-mindedness has a limit before it converts to GTFOA. And it's just like, wow.
And some of the stuff is
the version point where open-mindedness just kind of like a clam just shuts, and it's like, nah, son.
I'm here for it.
So, I'm just gonna get right.
It's too humid here. Maybe it's got me a little more cranky than usual, but like,
y'all
gonna see.
There's a
we
lot.
Can't do much about this humidity right now. It was raining earlier this morning. Great.
You just be complaining. I just turned on the air conditioning, but I digress. We're gonna get right into what I've been seeing on the internet. here's the thing. I think logic has lost people. I think logic is not a thing. Common sense is not so common anymore. People are so quick to believe what they read on the internet, and they actually don't double check, do research, or really just have a moment and think, does this make sense what I'm reading? So the first thing we're going to talk about is the Brittany Renner, PJ Washington drama that is happening. So if you guys don't know, Brittany Renner is an author and an Instagram famous IG model, whatever. PJ Washington is a basketball player. He's a power forward for the Charlotte Hornets.
Mhm.
Previously, he played for the University of Kentucky. Brittany is 29. PJ is 22. They recently were in a relationship, had a baby. The baby was born in May, and they are no longer together. And the internet has been putting out things about the relationship. Now, let's start with number one, the age difference. So there are people who are saying that her being 7 years older than her child's father is a bit of an issue, and also that she had been dating him or perceivably dating him back in 2019, February 2019, when he would have been, I think, 19 at the time or 20. And so there are people who are like, because of her reputation, that she was grooming him to be in a relationship with her. Now, I'm going to say this. All it takes is a Google search on Brittany Renner, hashtag Brittany Renner on Instagram, and you will find a lot of information about her. In actuality, I'm just going to go to Rob's phone and even show you more. Not only can you find out what other people are saying about Brittany, you can also find out what Brittany is saying about herself, because Brittany went out there and wrote a whole ass book. And the book is called Judge This Cover, and this is the cover. I read an excerpt today. So again, Brittany Renner, Judge This Cover. This book was published in October 2018. Supposedly, her and PJ got together in February 2019. So she had already had this book out. So if people tell you about themselves, believe them. So she wrote a whole book telling you about who she is.
Right.
If you can go on Amazon. Amazon allows you to read the first part of a book. That's what I did today. I haven't bought the book, but I read the first intro. I read it to Rob, and she comes out there and she's very clear about who she is. She says, this is what I'm going to do. And in the book, she reveals, she doesn't say the names of the men, but that she talks about 7 relationships she's been in with high-powered men. That's clearly why their names are not revealed. And at that time when she wrote the book, she was 25 years old. Talking about 7 relationships at 25 with men in the industry at 25. With men in the 7 of them. So PJ Washington, we all 22, he knows how to use the internet. He knows how to Google people. And quite frankly, if she is a IG thought, and for those who don't know what thought means, it means that hole over there. Okay. And she refers to herself as an IG thought in her book. Okay. Had he just done some search, he would have been able to see what this woman is about. So I've done a lot. So let's start with, what do you ladies think about this idea that this age difference of 7 years, she was grooming this soon-to-be professional basketball player to be with her?
No,
No.
I don't buy it. No, that's stupid.
Like,
that doesn't make
okay,
any sense.
so
No, I don't buy that. No.
I don't think that at all. I think literally what happened was, like most men, he saw a woman that looks damn good. I'm sure at the time he did not care how old she was, and she didn't care how old he was. Because, 7 years age difference isn't that big enough of a difference to start talking about grooming or controlling or anything like that. I honestly think they just looked at each other and were like, you're hot. Yeah, you're hot too. we should start something up.
That's
I
it.
think that's what happened. I don't really think that there was anything malicious here. Of course, when PJ tweeted, I think the tweet was she was faking it, or
Yeah, you were faking it all along.
You know, that started
Poor
to
baby.
get people to say, oh, okay, so yeah, but as you mentioned with the book and with the way how she is, she's, you know, one of the originators of this whole hoochie culture, where it's like, you know,
the Insta baddie.
Yeah, Insta baddie.
You know.
Like, there's nothing, her being on the cover of her book naked holding an apple, like,
it's not surprising.
Exactly.
That's not a surprise.
Not a surprise.
So that's my take on it. Anyway.
Well, you know what? She's been 100% real. Like we were saying in the beginning, she like, you know, and like you just said yourself, Cart, she wasn't hiding anything. She is a real person. She's not hiding and sneaking behind corners, pretending to be something that she's not. She's being very realistic. So if anyone's just catching on to it now and trying to say, oh, she was grooming, like, no, she wasn't. This is who she's been. She's been like this since day one. So if people want to go and, you know, run with whatever they want to run with, well, that's fine. But she's been keeping it real ever since. So I don't buy the whole grooming and he's a mail order groom or something, or this
like he was he was a little Amish boy.
Yeah, like come on, like you said, he saw a very hot, attractive woman,
and she is.
Like, no, I want a piece of that, and that's what they got together and did that. She didn't have him at gunpoint. He was just as involved as she was.
Thank you.
Like, the cover is a warning, yo. She's nude, holding an apple. Picture's worth 1,000 words. Apple, I think Adam and Eve. It's like, go ahead and bite this if you want to. We all know the story. Like, it ain't gonna work out good for you. I'm gonna come out on top. And there's some women that move like that, and she got a video where she's like, yo, she makes a comment about like pro ball players or something like that. And in my experience with my peers, like, that's a true statement. Them niggas is dumb. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in the ways of the world sometimes, and as far as like in the ways of women sometimes, like, it's very dumb. Like, it's a small world, you know, and when you're in that lifestyle, in that industry, you run into the same people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if a woman like puts her eyes on you and really makes an effort, like most dudes ain't like, nah. Like, you know, I seen you in Boston, right? I seen you in Milwaukee, I seen you in Salt Lake City. Nah. You know, like, she gonna have her way eventually, you know what I'm saying? In some way, shape, or form. And it's just, like, again, the mental sophistication of women that play the league in that way and the dudes in the league in that way, it's not fair. You know what I'm saying? So PJ got his feelings hurt. You know, he might be a little bitter. He learned a lesson. He ain't paying her no $200,000 a month. That's ridiculous.
So that's what we're gonna talk about.
That's pretty much all the money he gonna make in the league.
Okay.
He ain't doing it like that, but I don't know what he's making like that.
I'm gonna tell you what he's making,
man. Like, when you add it up,
real talk,
you know what I'm saying?
This is why I said in the beginning, people need critical thinking. So I'm gonna tell you, because I had to go back, you know, because I do my research on the internet, and I had to go back and read several articles and look at the timeline of their relationship and all of that. So again, February 2019, apparently they were rumored to be dating. This is when he was still at the University of Kentucky. Now, that was 2.5 years ago. He hadn't yet been drafted to the league. Exactly, 2.5 years ago. And then again, they said, you know, in early 2020, of course, with COVID, you know, they saw them and they took a picture on the same couch. So apparently that people assumed they were together. But their relationship was actually revealed February 26th of 2021, and the baby was born in May 2021. So she was very fully pregnant by the time they officially said that they were together, and 3 months later she had a baby. So now let's assume they started dating in February 2019. So let's say it's 2 and a bit years, because apparently they broke up last month in July. PJ Washington got a 4-year $17.8 million deal. So 4 years, $17.8 million. If we round it a little bit, let's call that $4.5 million a year.
Mhm.
Okay. He was in a 2.5-year relationship with Brittany. They now have what would be a 3-month-old baby. They broke up 2 months ago. Dr. Dre's wife of 20-something years got $300,000 a month, and he's worth $800 million. I just told you that PJ Washington has a 4-year contract for $17.8 million to pay that woman for 1 year. That is basically all of his salary, because 200,000 times 12 is 2.4 million. Let's also add that this would be the fastest child custody support case in the history, that they break up in July, and by the end of the month, a judge had already decided that this poor young child, whose career we don't even know where it's going to go, should be giving a young lady with a 2-month-old $2.4 million for the next 18 years. People, please stop spreading foolish rumors.
Except he's a daddy now.
No, but I'm saying her child. Her child is a baby.
Oh,
the baby's 3 months old. You think a judge, first of all, is going to decide? So they had to get lawyers.
That's too
They
quick.
had to get lawyers. Then they had to get in front of a judge. They barely broke up. He's still in his feelings.
I guarantee that she filed nothing. Like, they might have an agreement. Like, man, people all in their business, definitely. We just here for laughs and jokes, because it's funny, like, why people are mad at her. I like Brittany. Like,
I think she's perfectly fine.
She's been real. She's been real since day one. I have no issue with Brittany.
Brittany was doing what Brittany does. I'm going to even play you the clip of what Brittany says. Brittany, it is no secret that Brittany has dated professional athletes and rappers and so forth. She's been smiling in the pictures.
Yes.
On Insta, and all of them, these players have been putting her on their Instagram and taking her to their parties. Brittany has a whole book, naked on a cover. Go on Amazon again, read the first part of the chapter. She puts it right out here. This is who I am. This is what I'm about. And she has, again, hashtag Brittany Renner. I found a whole bunch of clips from Brittany talking about her life. You didn't do your research, bro. You should have double strapped it up and called it a day. Your egg just happens to be the one that met her, and her sperm met her egg. Now you popped out a whole baby. She's banking now. Even if he gives her $20,000 a year, that's $240,000 a month. So if he gives her $20,000, that's $240 a year. She never had to work again.
But what if he knew it? Like, God told Adam to mess with Eve and that apple. He did.
Let me just again show you the cover of what Brittany's book is.
God told him don't do it, and he did it anyway.
This is the cover of her book.
She told you don't bite this apple or you gonna get bit back hard.
We all went to Sunday school, and if you didn't go to Sunday school,
you know what? Like, what he need? Like flares to shoot off? Like danger. Like, I mean, he knew. Like, he just, certain dudes are attracted to certain type of like, it is what it is. He liked that though. Like, there's no way that he knew. Like, there's certain women like hey, most famous of all, Kim Kardashian. She's got a long laundry list of celebrity exes. Well, she got a couple husbands even, but she keep her a man. No, I tell you that.
Yeah, she don't. She keeps her a man, right?
If she ain't got one. She don't want one.
Here and again, she was just, so the question for people who are listening, was she a girlfriend or a wife? No, she was just a girlfriend. So the rumors that are being put out is, she left him and they're divorcing. They were never married. So those who are listening, Brittany Renner and PJ Washington were never married. They literally just announced their relationship 6 months ago and had a baby. And then she what, for whatever reason, we don't know their business, but they have broken up. And now they're trying to deal with raising this baby in whatever way they can. She, if this is her way of securing the bag, she secured the bag. I'm not mad at her, because here's the thing. She didn't pretend to be a Bible-thumping, Christian-like girl. In her first paragraph of a book, she refers to herself as an IG thought.
Yeah, being real.
This is who she is. And at 22, the thing is that, and this is just my opinion, I believe at 22 years old, especially when you are thrust into, you know, the adult world of business, because basketball is a business first. You know, it's not a game. Yes, it's appeared as a game, but I'm sure Rob can say this is a big game. Right. People are playing ball for money. Yeah. So you have to put on your adult hat very early on in age to survive. And honestly, he should have been like, okay, I know what she's like. I'm getting into this. We're going to have a lot of fun. You know, I'm going to enjoy this relationship, knowing that I'm just starting out. I am not making multiple millions of dollars. And remember, nothing is promised. We have seen many basketball players get that contract for 5, 7, 10 years. And some of them don't get all the money because they either did something silly to where, you know, they got kicked out of the league, or, you know, they end up having to pay out hundreds of thousands of dollars for different things here and there. So the idea that, you know, we have a couple where it's like they weren't married, which is even more reason to be aware, because it's like, okay, we're not married. I like this girl. She likes me. We're happy. Let's just enjoy this relationship. But I don't know. I have to say that, you know, because it's out there, because the whole world has the story and Twitter exists and Instagram exists, it's getting blown to a point where they're both saying, look, can you all stop talking about spreading these rumors that are not true?
It's like that game telephone, when someone told a secret around the circle, it's something completely exaggerated. And that's what this has turned into. Now, like we were saying, the young man should have gone online to type her name and saw what kind of woman he was getting involved with. I don't know if he was just so mesmerized by her booty and her beauty that maybe he was like, you know what, I want this. I want an insta baddie. I want a thought. I want to be that badass boy on the court. I have a badass game and I got this badass chick. Maybe that's what he was going for. I don't know. But he could have put on a condom. He could have told her, yo, I don't want to be a dad. Make sure you take her birth. I don't know, something. But there's no one to blame. I don't blame her because she didn't do anything.
You can't be mad at her.
You can't be mad at her.
Like, it's like, yo, seriously? Again, my spin on it with a woman like Brittany, if she wanted to be a mom 3-4 years ago, she would have been a mom 3-4 years ago. One of them dudes that she was dealing with back then, she would have made sure she got pregnant.
Exactly.
DJ was just the one that she was dealing with at the time where she was like, you know what? Maybe she's ready to put down her thottish ways a little bit and step into a new lane. I mean, that's maturity. I'm not going to knock her for that. She made sure that her kid's father was financially stable.
Because she didn't come from that.
At least she should be. You know what I'm saying? At least she should be. Like you said, she had a hard life. Like, all you can really be mad at her for is she unapologetically said, this is the type of life I want, and she went after it, and she got it. I think she's a success.
And here's the thing. I mean,
it cost PJ some change, but nobody knows if he's like mad at her, if they got a co-parenting plan, if he's gonna be active in this kid. Nobody knows none of that stuff, and it's not our business, yo. Like, straight up and down. But it's just, I mean, I can't see that it's like this negative thing that, like, yo, this is not even new. Like, it's been going on.
And here's the thing. And this is why I need people to really, again, when you read things on the internet, stop and really decipher it and think. And again, like I said, PJ could Google her. On top of that, like Rob said, having been a pro basketball player, he knows what talk happens in the locker room. He knows how small that league is. He played overseas. So if somebody said such and such was on a team in Argentina, he's like, that nigga's capping because I was in Argentina at that time. He wasn't on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the league, they know each other. Going through the AAU circuit, they know, doesn't matter what state you were from. If you were anybody to be talked about that was going to make it to the league, these players knew each other. So he would have heard about Brittany because, again, she'd been out there, been dating different sports, different NBA players. And again, she wrote a whole book about it. So here's my thing. When Rob and I got together, I was very clear about certain things that I wanted and didn't want. One of the things that we discussed, and I was like, in my ideal relationship, I don't want to work. I don't want to work, and I don't want to pay bills. I don't want to pay, I don't want to pay any bills. So imagine getting to this relationship and I'm like, okay, I will raise the kids and I will write my books and I will do my talk show. But thinking that I'm going to a 9 to 5, that's probably not what's going to happen. Then he turns around and says, well, I was bamboozled because I didn't know that she didn't want to do this and I'm looking for her for half of the brother. No, but I told you. She told him who she told the world, PJ. She told the world who she was. Yes. Y'all didn't listen. Enjoy your baby. Enjoy your life. Wish you the best.
Start paying.
Done.
You like it, we love it.
If you like it, we love it.
Right. And
we're
that's
done.
why, I have to bring up again, Rob brought her up before, someone like a Kim Kardashian or any of the Kardashian girls. They've always been showing up on Instagram in bikinis, living their best life on the beach. You know who they are. So when the whole divorce thing between Kanye and Kim came out, and people are saying, well, he doesn't want her showing off her body. I'm like, so wait, did he know who he was marrying?
He fell in love with her from the moment he saw the sex tape.
He fell in love with her. He admitted he fell in love with her because she looked like a blow-up doll.
He saw the sex tape
and he said, wow, I want that booty. So that is why he married her. So to come out now and say, well, I don't want her showing her booty. It's like, wait a minute, wait, what?
Come on.
This is how she makes her money. And you knew marrying her.
You knew how she was
going
to
be.
This is
what was going to be. Like, Kim would be in her bikini.
Well, her business.
Holding 5 or 6, however kids she has.
Her business is her body. That's how she makes her money. It's her body.
That's
you knew that.
Never hit it. Never hit it.
She never hit it. And that's the thing with Britney. These women are not hiding who they are. So for the world to get so involved, and it's not even their own business to get involved in the first place. But anyway, for everyone to get so involved and calling her it's her fault. How is it her fault?
She got bamboozled. Kanye was hiding how crazy he is. Like Kanye was hiding how crazy he is all that time. Like that. If anybody was hiding, it was Mr. West for sure.
And so he's got some, and I'm gonna play, and to top this off, I'm gonna play a clip.
Money machine.
A clip from. I'm literally going to play a clip from Brittany saying, "Oh God, I suck at these iPhones." I mean, you're not wrong. Like,
you know what? Once she was playing the clip, I do just want to say thanks to everybody for listening today. Thank you to Radio Region and iHeartRadio for taking this show out there on the internet. That's why we record this show. We record it for y'all, and it's syndicated through iHeartRadio, through Radio Region Live. So definitely check us out Saturday evenings on Radio Region Internet Radio at 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
So, when Brittany's going to have last words for this segment.
I still mess with you, Yay. I'm just sorry.
Oh, my God.
I don't want him to get mad at me.
Hold on.
You want to try to come up off a check off a man, you could just fucking athlete. They're really done.
So I'm gonna let her
I really want to try to come up off a check off a man, you could just fucking athlete. They're really done.
So she basically said, if you want to come off a check off a man, you just effing athlete. They're really dumb. This is a video of her in her own words that can be Googled anywhere. Sorry, PJ, you lost. We wish you the best. We gotta go.
Yeah. And
moving on
to your bank account if any of this stuff will ever become true, because dude, you can't afford it.
Bless you. Start paying, because you got a whole baby now at 22. Good luck. We wish you the best. Happy parenting. Parenting is wonderful. Now, speaking of parenting, there is parenting a 3-month-old
Let's
So
take a deep
people are
breath of air. Just breathe,
parenting
because girl,
3
this is
months
heavy.
old,
Yeah.
and they're parenting 38 years old. So Dr. Dre's daughter has come out and
Jesus.
revealed to the world that she is homeless. She is currently living out of a luxury SUV for which she pays $2,300 for 3 weeks at a time. She also has 4 kids ranging in age from 17 to 3 who are not homeless with her. However, they are living with family, friends, or family. She stated that Dr. Dre had been financially supporting her, but he's paying her rent, giving her an allowance. However, has cut her off since January 2020, so 18 months, and she hasn't received a dime, and she is now homeless. Let me add, Dr. Dre is supposedly, the estimated value of his wealth is $800 million. He was recently or still in a divorce with his wife of 20 something. I want to say it was 24 years, but it's 20 something years, for which he has 2 kids. And he was ordered to pay her $300,000 a month in spousal support. Now, the 38-year-old daughter has come out, and I'm going to read an article basically saying, my dad has to pay $300,000 for his wife, and basically I don't understand why I'm trying to reach out to him and he won't respond to me, because people are out here saying I'm a millionaire's daughter, and how come I'm working? I want to crawl under a rock and die, because she had to move from Nevada to California because she said there was better job prospects, and she is a warehouse worker and a DoorDash and Uber driver, again in a car she's sleeping in that she's renting for $2,300 for every 3 weeks. Do the math on that.
Isn't it cheaper to just live under the rock? Because that's free at that point. She just live under the rock and save herself the $2,300 and put it down on a little apartment. Wouldn't that be easier than
So
renting a luxury car?
now this is a lot. This is a lot to process, and I know that for all of us, it was a lot to process this story because there's a lot going on here.
This is too much.
Go ahead, Rob.
No, because again, I tried. This is where to open. Because to me, we had a spirited debate. I'm looking at it from the male perspective, from like, okay, screw her. Don't talk to me about her. As a dad worth $800 million, how's one of your kids homeless? But then the more you unpeel the onion, the more and more you just have to be like, Jesus, man, like, what is wrong with this person? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like there's homeless, like inability to pay the bills.
Right.
And then there's homeless, like somebody in your family got money, so you want to live like you got money.
Mm-hmm.
And what is wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, and that happens, I think, time and time and time again with people. That's entitlement. Like, and that's on the parents, I guess, ultimately to say, no, this is my money. This isn't your money. And I guess that's what's going on because, like, oh, man, all I can do is be like, geez, like, maybe you shouldn't have gave her money from 18 to 36, and maybe it wouldn't be where it's at now. Like, that you got to just cut off the faucet. But she out here crazy, talking crazy in these streets, man.
No,
it's just
she's talking crazy in the streets, and I'm going to read some of the stuff she got to say. But let me just, and Rob and I were having this discussion, and I'm going to say this. Again, 38, she has 4 kids.
Yeah, man. Like,
I don't know how many daddies, not my business. I'm going to assume there's probably more than one. They range in age from 17 to 3. She is 38. So 4 times she laid down, and out of those laying down came a baby. So she has put more responsibility on her father than her baby father or fathers to take care of their children. Also, as a parent herself, does she not think it is incumbent on her to keep a roof over their head? Why is it her father's responsibility to keep a roof over her head and theirs? Speaking as someone who became a mother at 21, fresh out of university with, I had good skills, I found a way to put a roof over my child's head. Granted, my daddy wasn't worth $800 million. However, I did have a very supportive dad. And if needs be, and I needed stuff done, I could say, Daddy, I can't pay the rent this month. Can you please send me $1,500 so I can do it? And trust and believe my daddy would have found it because I'm a dad, but I didn't do that.
Mhm.
I had given birth to a little human being, and now it was my responsibility. She's given birth to 4 of them.
Yo, I'm sorry. One last thing, because I just got to take on it. Like, again, as a father, and I'm thinking, like, most fathers, especially wealthy dads, like, you will take care of your daughter through infinity. With one caveat, I think most men get angry at the thought of, like, I pay my daughter's rent, right? Cool. But she got a nigga living there. I got a problem with it. Because why do I have to pay your rent if you have a nigga living there? And that dads through time have felt like that. I'm certain of that part. I've been on both sides of that. You know what I'm saying? As a young man, like, yo, I wasn't really trying to shack up with anybody. But, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, yo, man. So, and with 4 kids, and obviously ain't none of them in the scenery or nothing like that, I'm willing to bet that that was probably one of the points of contention. And then she couldn't, like, yo, somebody paying your rent, you got to live by their rules, right?
That part. And giving you a whole allowance, rent and allowance.
You still a child, man. You still basically a child. So you got to live under their rules. So it sounded like she didn't want to live under Dr. Dre rules. And Dr. Dre said, okay, no more Dr. Dre because I'm tired of this.
Snip, snip.
You know, you keep having these niggas living up in the crib with you and these babies, and, like, they not bringing nothing to the situation. They just, like, I'll take care of my daughter. I'm not going to take care of her and her boyfriend. Like,
Exactly.
like, that's crazy.
That's a mess.
This is my thing, right? So
I bet your daddy would say the same thing.
Your daddy would definitely say the same thing. I know Papa Campbell ain't gonna be supporting y'all in no man.
Okay, listen, okay. Now, speaking as, a daughter to a father who is a very traditional alpha male dad, he is, like Rob said, he's always here all the time. He's like, if you need this, just tell me you need it. Just tell me. That's how our dad is. Now, if I were to ever say, hey, Dad, me and Josh, Jamal are finally getting together, he'd be like, God bless y'all. I love it. I'm so happy for you all. And if I, in a month, call Pops and say, yeah, Jamal couldn't pull it together this month, Dad, so can I borrow? Can I bother you for $2,000? First of all, my father would cuss every word that no one on here will ever understand. That he would cuss me out. And he would have every right. Because he would say, so wait, you moved out of here to be with Man, and Man can't
provide for you
enough money to pay the rent. Come on. And you're calling me now to come take care of you and your man?
I went through a rough spot, man. As a man going through a rough spot, it's understandable, but your name is trash in these streets. Like, you have to understand that. Like, that's how it is. That's the unfortunate rule of life. When you down, your name is down, bro. You got to get yourself up.
That's it.
All of that.
And that's the thing. For me, okay, we have a young lady. She's 38. She's middle. She's a grown woman. She's a grown woman. And this gets me because, 38 is not far off from 40.
Not far off from us.
Right? So she had 4 kids. And my issue is that all the money that she had gotten between 18 and 36.
36.
Where did the money go?
Where is it?
That's the first thing. She didn't even decide, let me put away $200
Even
from,
that.
just for a rainy day, you never know. And then why didn't she ever go to her father with solutions? Dad, can I get a job from one of your 2,000 companies? Can you hire me? That way you can pay me and I will give skills so your dream continues and I can take care of my children.
That's all of that.
That's the second thing, right? And then bad life choices. Sis, why are you renting a luxury SUV for $2,300 for 3 weeks?
Live under the rock.
Like most
you're
of
poor.
mortgages don't cost that much for a month.
That's a
And
mortgage.
you're paying rent for a car?
A car. I wonder what kind of car it is. Like a Range
It's a luxury SUV.
or like a Caddy? Is it like one of them big Escalades? Tulsa? An Escalade? Range
Rover. Something.
Rather than
that
that $2,300, why didn't she take that money and go to one of
And
those
go-
extended stay hotels?
There you go.
Put her pitney in there with her children, and all of them live together. Why didn't she do that?
No.
Because she wants to embarrass her father. She wants to say, "Look, everyone, I'm the daughter of an almost billionaire, and I'm living in this
poor.
car, and my dad has abandoned me." She wants to embarrass the man.
That's a legitimate question. You're the daughter of a millionaire. Why you ain't got no money? But she wants to try to make it his fault.
Yeah, she wants to make it his fault.
It seems like he did
That's
everything
not right.
he could do. Because, like, I'm thinking from 18 to 36, if somebody paying your rent and giving you money, and you talking about you worked your whole life, like, there should be a surplus, not a deficit. Like, there should be more money. You should have been stacking some paper, right?
I
You know
wish
what
somebody
mean?
would have paid
Like,
my rent for a year.
Playing ball overseas, they pay you. You don't pay rent. You don't pay a
Jesus.
condo. You don't pay those things. When you get your paycheck, you basically put it in your pocket and you wait to go home. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're doing the most. Now, it's some guys that be doing super the most, and again, I was doing a lot, but you should still come home with a little chunk of change, you know what I mean? Not
Exactly.
a deficit, and that's just in 1 year. If somebody paid your rent for a whole year, let's say you live in Section 8 and you pay $1,000 a month, right?
All of that.
At the end of the year, you should have at least $8,000 or $9,000 put up if you just paid your rent to yourself and kept it in the bank.
Exactly.
So what like I said, she's obviously a horrible money manager. The man got a building at USC with his name on it. Like, I'm pretty sure you could have went to school there for free. Like, you had opportunities. Like, there's no way you can't say you didn't have opportunities.
You decided to
but you wanted to
squander
be
them.
kept, or you just wanted to be kept. But when you're kept, you gotta follow the rules.
Hallelujah.
That part.
Amen.
Or you don't get kept no more.
And what's really bothersome is, her siblings, they're all right.
We looked it up.
And they're younger than her.
And they're younger than her. And they're doing just fine. So
She's the eldest.
Rappers, singers, Insta famous, they're doing just fine.
Producers,
so
business owners, works with daddy. Daddy's got a gazillion companies. This is a great opportunity to have gone to daddy and said, let me see how this business thing works. And I don't care if she had to work as a secretary, as an assistant, as something. She could have figured out how this works. You decided my daddy is rich. And let me just also add, she's very angry at her father for, in her mind, how he did her mom. Let me stop this. Dr. Dre is 55 years old. As we said, LaTanya Young, his daughter is 38. We do the math on that. He would have had her when he was 17. 17-year-old Dre and 55-year-old Dre are not worth the same amount. He was with her mother until she was 5. She has 2 other siblings, same mother, same father, which means 22 when him and the mother broke up. 22-year-old Dre and 55-year-old Dre, again, not in the same bracket. She has come out to say that she feels that her mother should have gotten what Nicole, the wife that he's divorcing now, is getting. They were 22. He was 22. They spent, let's call it even 7 years together. This woman spent 20-something years with this man and helped him build himself into the Dr. Dre we know, worth $800 million. And this 38-year-old grown woman is talking about he should have given her mother at 22.
Man, she
At
needs
22.
therapy.
What Nicole, the wife, is getting?
She needs
You
therapy.
know, I wish I could even look up right now how old Dr. Dre was when he got a record deal.
It was in his 20s.
Okay.
So
chances are that
20.
Yeah.
Right. So really and truly, he was nowhere near the Dr. Dre that he was even at 30.
No.
Like he was literally a young guy just trying to get himself together. And the thing is that even through that, he did pay for her lifestyle. It's not like he never gave her money, like we just said. Girl, he did pay her rent. He did.
And an allowance.
You were in Nevada where the cost of living is so affordable.
Like, check this out though. Like,
no, don't even tell them yet what's
I'm
gonna
not
happen.
gonna say the story, but like, are we really Shay and Brittany Renner, and then feeling bad for the person who's gonna talk about like who's talking like this? She should have.
She should have been on the Brittany Renner train.
NBA player and made sure that Dre didn't have to keep going.
One of them four kids, daddies. How many
Brittany
daddies
Renner
there are?
Daddy
Again, she got 4 babies. I'm assuming I'm gonna assume it's not with the same daddy. So she should have assured that one of them baby daddies should have been able to secure the bag for her. It is not your daddy's responsibility, especially when you had opportunities.
Right.
Too much opportunities.
Opportunities. If you were speaking to his lawyer or his people or whomever, you should have put together, like Karsia said, solutions. Give them a proposal. These are the skills that I have. I'd like to start working in one of my daddy's 65 million companies, earning a salary, blah, 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 blah. Now, so she's in dire need. This is the solution, Karsia. She's come up.
Girl, I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming. I knew it. I knew it was coming.
Going, people.
Let's. You ready, everybody?
Listen. I knew this was gonna come.
Dr. Dre's estranged daughter, LaTanya Young, has been staying in the public spotlight in recent months thanks to her candid interviews about her famous father. Young says the Beats by Dre mogul, who's worth an estimated $800 million, cut her off financially in January, and she's been living out of her car and working for DoorDash, unable to reach Dre directly. Now, the 38-year-old mother of 4 has decided to take matters into her own hands by launching a GoFundMe campaign to help her get back on her feet. And this is her quote. I think GoFundMe campaigns are for people in desperate situations, and I'm in a desperate situation. I really don't want to accept handouts, but I appreciate anything that is offered. I have worked all my life, and I know how to work for money, but I'm in a difficult place right now. I believe in investing in your kids. That's what I want to do for my kids, so they never are in a position like I am right now. Young isn't giving up hope that she'll one day reunite with Dr. Dre, adding, I know my dad is a busy man, but I hope he will see it and reach back out to me on a father-daughter level. The Tarzania, California resident is the product of Dre's previous relationship with 53-year-old Lisa Johnson, which has resulted in 2 other children. Let's note her mother is 53, which again means that she had her at 15.
Her mother don't even want her.
LaToya and Ashley are the names of the sisters.
Thank you.
The couple reportedly split when Young was just 5 years old. Okay, there's more. So there's more. But according to Ben WhatsApp award-winning book Original Gangsters, The Untold Story of Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, Tupac Shakur, and the Birth of West Coast Rap, Dr. Dre has 6 other children. And it was including a son, Curtis, because they're trying to shade him, who he didn't acknowledge until decades after his birth. As of Friday, August 13th, which is yesterday, 4 days after Young launched the campaign, she's raised, you ready? She has a $50,000 goal, and she's raised $365.
That's what she did.
She's raised $365.
$365.
$300. You know
I
when your
want to see who
grandma
those
used
people
to
are.
say,
So I can box them down. Why are you helping this woman? What girl? She has work. She knows how to work.
She said she's been working her whole life.
Make money. You know how to provide for your children.
And she doesn't want to accept handouts, but
you put up a GoFundMe page.
Put up the GoFundMe page, and she's been accepting
handouts
from her father.
That is a handout.
You know what?
And Daddy from other family members.
That girl's on crack. All right, she's a crackhead. She's on drugs. No, she's on drugs, y'all. On drugs.
I did read something that there could be a history of drug use, which
she's on crack.
You know, if that's the case, how do we know that Dr. Dre has also not spent money on rehabs?
You know this.
She's
been to promises in Malibu maybe too many times, but she's on crack.
She's a bad person. I think it's safe to say she's just not a role model.
So all of I took real, and I get it. I am a parent through and through. I said to him recently, I said I've done a lot of things in my life. Carsey, you've been witness to some of the amazing things I did in my career. Yep. But I said the one great thing I have done and will continue to do is be a parent, is to be a mom. I take pride in being a parent, and he's got firsthand witness to that. Me in mom mode. I love my children. What I will not do is enable them to be whatless. She is whatless.
Girl.
In Jamaican, W-U-T-H less. Whatless. Not worthless. She whatless. So how are you coming out as a 38-year-old woman saying, my daddy won't help me take care of me and the 4 kids I gave birth to that I'm responsible for? And people want to talk about, there was this whole thing about, somebody made a comment, well, this is why we can't have Black generational wealth. Let me tell you something about Black generational wealth.
No, she's why we can't have Black generational
Thank you.
wealth.
Let me tell you something about.
She's the reason why.
Black generational wealth.
Thank you.
Cash that she burned.
But the thing about it, that comment was mad at Dr. Dre, saying, well, Dr. Dre is an $800 million, and this is why.
I felt like that at first. Not the generational wealth part, but yeah, I mean, yeah, like, he's still got culpability, like how this happened, or even still, so what if she's worthless? But I think it asked the question, like, at what point is it safe to just throw in the towel on your kids too? Like, just like, yo, man, she got to figure it out, bro. Like, I've been trying for 18 years. At a certain point,
you got
she don't get it. She said, I'm trying to take matters into my own hands. And started, she typed in, go find me, give me money.
That was her solution.
Sound like a winning attitude.
Rather than her typing in, how can I start a business, or how can I write a resume, she decided to open up a GoFundMe. And the thing is, she left Nevada, which is very affordable, a cheaper lifestyle.
Live there.
I feel she left her factory job there too.
Yep.
Drove all the way to California to a place that's experiencing major homelessness because it's so expensive to live there. And she went there with her jobless Bati and her poor children, who now have to live with different family members all over the place.
That's horrible.
And now she wants people to give her money because she doesn't want to try to either A, get a job at her father's company, or 2, just get a job. Like,
girl, she couldn't.
And she's 40 years old.
She's 40. Yo, she's 40.
Here's my thing. I have 2 comments. One, if she was smart, she would have gone to every book publishing company in the surrounding area and tried to sell her story. Like, I'm gonna be honest, if you wanted a solution, you're already talking to Daily Mail. I don't know how much money they're paying, but a book publisher will get you some. You want to spread your daddy's business? Here is the deal. We will give you an advance. We will put you up in a nice place. You just need to sit here and write and slander your dad. She could have done all of that. I would have called up every book publisher. Yo, Brittany Renner has a whole book about her hoeing. You don't tell me people are not going to pay to hear about whatever dirt you have on Dr. Dre. So that's step number 2. For the people talking about Dr. Dre, and this is why we cannot have Black generational wealth. I was having a conversation with my 11-year-old daughter yesterday as we were walking down the street about investments and property and all of the things that need to be happening. Her and I were talking about the fact that part of the strategy of making sure that her and her siblings never have to suffer is that we need to invest in what that looks like. She started asking questions. She was genuinely interested in what we were going to do. And then we went for a family walk, and because I was talking to her about different neighborhoods and going into a neighborhood, finding the worst house in the neighborhood, rehabbing it, but she was asking questions about. So we went for the family walk. I saw a house in our neighborhood that was similar to that, and I said, baby girl, that is what I'm talking about. She acknowledged it, and then we moved on from it. But at 11, she is interested in knowing, how can I be a part of this to make sure that as part of this family, we get hype. She's 11.
11.
That is how you
a
create
baby
generational wealth.
has more sense than a practically 40-year-old woman.
Yes. And I
who has
do want to say too that it just goes to show how much more education we need to instill within the Black community. Because generational wealth doesn't mean I go and get rich and then give you money. That is not wealth.
That's not
wealth.
That's being spoiled.
And I think that we have a misconception of what generational wealth means. Generational wealth means you take a skill, you learn to capitalize on it, you buy real estate, you buy stocks, you have a foundation.
That's it.
And because of that foundation, whether that be money or a name, like Dr. Dre's daughter, you take that foundation like Paris Hilton did, like Kim Kardashian did, and you capitalize on that money or that name, like Will Smith's kids are doing right now. They're using that Smith name and they're making their own money. They don't need Will Smith's money because they're making their own. And this is the problem. We are giving out money for free and not teaching and educating.
No.
Right. Here's another point that I think of, like, why the issue with generational wealth is, like, we got too many people in the community, like this woman, almost 40 years old, still talking about a job. Like, you're supposed to have some type of career path or you should, a job. Circle K got a job. Those are for kids. Like, I'm gonna be telling my daughter that in a few years.
My 19-year-old has a job.
She has a job. Eventually, that should progress into a career, no matter what you're doing. But you should do it long enough that you gain expertise and experience and skill. Therefore, you make yourself more valuable. I don't care if you're a stripper on the pole. You do it for 7 years, you should make more than a stripper who just started.
Absolutely.
So, like, her entire mindset is broken. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is horribly flawed. And, like, in that mindset of, like, why we don't have generational wealth is because too many of our grandparents squandered money on our worthless parents. You know, and too many of us are going to squander money on our worthless kids.
All of that.
Instead of teaching them to sufficiently take care of themselves. Because trust me, you don't even consider handouts when you know you can take care of yourself.
That part.
It doesn't even cross your mind because you don't want to follow the rules.
That part. And our last comment before we do our last word, Roxmac said, my daughter says she is a landlord in training. And that is actually my niece. Roxmac is my sister. And she is a young child talking about she's a landlord in training.
Absolutely.
That is all I'm going to say, because her mother, she's watching what her mother is doing and she's learning and absorbing.
That's it.
Thank you. So last words, ladies, before we log off. That's Miss Raquel.
I'm very, PJ, dude. I know, I forgot about you for a second there, but you know what? I hope you and Brittany can work it out. I wish the best to your child. And as far as it goes, if this is a lesson, it's a lesson for men and women. Guess what? Your parents actually aren't obligated to take care of you after 18 years old. You can't go to court and say, oh, they won't give me money. The court will look at you and say, well, by 18, you should have been self-sustainable. That's what the law says. So remember that as you are going through your life. Not saying you shouldn't call your parents for help, but make sure that you're doing everything that you can with your personal resources to take care of yourself. And like Rob said, I like that. It's time. Look, if you're 35 years old and you still don't have a path as to what you're doing, like if you're not going to commit yourself to a goal, listen, you need to figure it out. You need to figure it out. I don't know what that looks like, but you need to figure it out. Don't be 38 years old and wondering if you can work at the assembly line at some random place, you know, for 4 hours a week. Don't be that person. You want generational wealth, direction. You need direction.
Work.
Girl, all of that.
Back in the box, call me back.
All of that. I agree. My takeaway is exactly what Rob said. There comes a time in your life when you have to get serious with your life. Jobs are for, you know, the kids just starting out, but a career has to take place when you're in your 30s and going forward. So my takeaway is that, and also, you know, save your money, because clearly we have a problem with even saving $50. Whatever you collect from your paycheck or whatever it is from your career, put money aside. Do not go ending up like certain women with their kids, 4 kids with no fada, living God knows where, and you're living in a Range Rover because I guess you want to look good while you're dropping off food, or renting a Range Rover to drop off food for DoorDash so you can get 5 extra stars. I don't know. But whatever it is, save your money. Save your money.
I'm still on the hashtag cancel delusion train. Because this is what the world is. So, PJ, wish you luck. You were delusional, thinking that you were gonna turn a hoe into a housewife. She showed you who she was. She wrote about it. She says if you want to come up on a check, you know, a basketball player, they're dumb. F an athlete, they're dumb. She told you. Now you have a baby. Good luck with that, bro. Homeless girl. Figure it out. Nobody even wants to give you money through GoFundMe. I've known GoFundMe that were up for 2 hours and made their goal. Girl, it's been 4 days. You got $365. Figure it out. I don't want to help you. Bless you. I'll pray for you. Babe.
Man, I'm speaking for most men. I'm fairly challenged. If faced with the choice of a gold digger or a broco, like, give me the gold digger. Like,
I'm done. Actually,
she is terrible. Pray for her, man. Like, I hope that GoFundMe do something. Actually, I don't, because nobody's sending money to that crap, man. Like,
and that's what it is. She
right?
Brittany Renner, Team Brittany Renner. Brittany Renner
Team
is
Brittany
winning,
Renner, for sure.
and
Brittany
you
winning.
are losing. So,
Team Dr. Dre daughter, you are a loser.
Hashtag hoes are winning. Hashtag hoes are winning.
Hey,
be more like Brittany and less like LaTanya.
For real.
That real talk. That's what I got to say.
Maybe
more like
Brittany. Take some notes. Maybe she can hook up with Brittany and get some lessons. I don't know. She'll get to her goal way faster taking the Brittany route than her little GoFundMe page.
And we won't have to fund so many of these kids, man. Like, GoFundMe for so many of these kids with these women with, you know, wet coochies and dry purses. Like,
woo! And no stimulus money. Where did the stimulus money go? She got a whole bunch of stimulus money. They were giving out money for babies. She got where is your stimulus money, LaTanya Young? Where is your stimulus check for your 4 picnic them? Now you cannot afford to live. You had 4 picnic. Where is your stimulus money? Trump and Biden were giving out money. Where is your money? You got a few checks. We don't know what to help you. So be more like Brittany Renner and be less like LaTanya Young. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Kelly's got some final words.
Thank you guys so much for watching and for listening. You'll have to hop on our lives. Our lives are life. So make sure you catch us every Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we're right here on Instagram under the handle Not Your Typical Girl Talk. Thank you guys so much for watching and for listening, and for wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Come on back. Hit us up in our DMs. Request to go live with us. We'd love to talk with you and have conversations like this. And as for now, we're going to dance it out. You want y'all to dance it out with us?
I was just waiting. Hashtag. Y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it here first, man.
I just said it was a homework for the night. So I'm going to do. Thank you, everybody. Have